Welcome to our second world. This is a new series of a video that I'm going to be doing, and it's top 10s. I've watched them on YouTube before, and I kind of was interested, and I wanted to do it on my own. So today I'm going to be doing a top 10 of my favorite wrestlers from WWE, ECW, or anything. And most of these are WWE, and there's one specific one that's not from WWE. But you know what? Let's get this started with my first favorite. My number one favorite is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels has always been my favorite, and I just love how he works in the ring, his talking. He's just awesome to me, and if I were ever to be a wrestler someday, that's who I'd want to be like. And like on WWE games, I don't base my characters off them, but I would just kill to see him or something like that, just to talk to him. It'd be awesome. But other than that, let's move on to the next person. And that man is my second favorite, the Cerebral Assassin, the game, Triple H. Triple H is my second favorite of all time. And he's just got power. He can just do a lot of stuff. I did put the pedigree in a couple stuff that does revolve around Triple H, but some people would think that he'd be my favorite, but it just doesn't go like that. And I've just been watching him, like, whenever I came from the hospital after being born. That was the first match I saw with him, and it was him winning a Battle Royal to fight Hogan at Backlash 2002. But despite that, he is not my favorite. It is still Shawn Michaels to this day, but that'll still never change or anything. But let's move on to the next person. This person has always been my third favorite. The Phenom, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. I've been watching The Undertaker since I was really little, and the first match I ever saw from The Undertaker was him versus Shawn Michaels in a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, and that was the first ever Hell in a Cell match, and that was the night Kane debuted, and when I saw Undertaker, I was in awe. It was amazing. He looked so cool. And I think one of my favorite parts of The Undertaker is just that tombstone. And just his gimmick is just amazing. And one of my favorite gimmicks that he's ever done was Ministry. But a lot of people will agree with me. Biker Undertaker. Just the theme that he had and just everything. It was really cool, and he was just a badass. But Ministry's really close to there too, because I like dark kind of characters, and even TV shows that I watch, I like them to be dark and stuff like that, and just evil. And I've always thought the Undertaker was really cool for that kind of stuff, and his entrance is just amazing, like for WrestleMania and all that stuff, and it's just awesome. Now this next person, he just came to WWE, and it's actually in this picture. In January at the Royal Rumble, AJ Styles is my fourth favorite. And the first time I ever watched TNA was a match with him, and it was him versus sorry, can't speak really today. I haven't slept. It was AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe, and that will always be my favorite TNA match. And he was just amazing. I always thought he was awesome, and then from there I would always go on YouTube or something and look up AJ Styles, and I would see like AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins in a gym, and just watch his stuff from just watch his indie stuff, and man, he was awesome, and he still is to this day. And just watching him because he'll be fighting Cena at SummerSlam, and that's gonna be a good match. And AJ Styles is just, to me, always been just a great worker and good on the mic and everything. He can really do it all. And AJ Styles is someone who I think a lot of people would want to be like if they were to wrestle. And I would be sad and shocked that they wouldn't give him a world championship in WWE. But I think he's going there. But now, moving on, number 5, Sting. Now, Sting, the first match I ever watched was when he won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship from Hogan. And that was really special about him. And just the two characters that he played, which was the dark character, and even even when he was blonde, he was still really cool. But just something specific about the darkness of his character later on was just amazing to me. Growing up, I always loved Sting. Sting was just awesome to me. And I had always wanted to see Sting versus The Undertaker, but it never happened. But Sting will always be one of my favorites of all time, and I would be shocked if he wasn't on your top 10s. I think my favorite move from him would be the Scorpion Death Drop. I mean, yeah, it's a reverse DDT, but the way he does it is so cool. And Sting is just awesome to me. But, and when he was in the Wolfpack, that was awesome. I didn't really like when they turned him heel. But, yeah, that's my 5th favorite. Now moving on to my 6th favorite. He's in WWE right now. Finn Balor. And if you've seen him in JPW, and then he was Prince Devitt. Now, there's a lot of things I can say about Finn Balor. Now, Finn Balor is an amazing wrestler. He can do good on the mic, work good. I'm really happy that he's going to fight Seth. So I've been wanting to see that. And Finn Balor's face paint and just body paint, just his paint in general, is so cool. And what he does with like outfits and stuff are so cool. If you've seen like Joker or Hannibal Lecter, Carnage, Venom, Spider-Man, they're all just amazing. And he's got a lot more to come. And Finn Balor is just the demon. He's just amazing. And Finn Balor will always be my 6th favorite because Finn Balor is awesome. I don't know. Just watching him wrestle makes me love being a wrestling fan. It makes me want to keep watching whenever he comes out. And I think it'd be a real mistake if they didn't give him that Universal Championship. Even though it would be cool to see Seth as champion, but I'd rather see Balor. But this next man that I would have really liked to see Balor fight is the Eater of Worlds. Right there. Bray Wyatt. The Eater of Worlds. Now, Bray Wyatt, again, dark, mysterious. Now, one thing I love about Bray Wyatt, the damn promos. Bray Wyatt, to me, has the best promos in WWE today. And that's one thing he could go down in history as the best at, is promos. Because once he does promos, he keeps me interested in watching what he's going to do. And just his matches are just so cool and interesting. And just wanting to see people fight him. Because there's a lot of people I can name off to fight him, like Balor, Ambrose again, Taker again, Sting, Triple H, Seth Rollins. It would all be just really cool, dude. Bray Wyatt just has that, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but Bray Wyatt is just cool. And if you don't like him, I hope you respect him, because I do. But that doesn't mean you have to. But Bray Wyatt is just amazing to me. And I think he's a really good wrestler and good at promos, because that just makes a really good worker and just good entertainer in general. And I hope at some point that he does win the WWE Championship on SmackDown. And I think he will at some point. But one of my favorite matches from him is him against this next man, Y2J, Chris Jericho, at SummerSlam. Now, Chris Jericho has always been amazing to me, because I think he's just a great wrestler. I mean, Jericho was one of the first people I saw. Jericho's first match that I ever watched with him was against, I believe, it was Triple H, Judgment Day 2002 in the Hell in a Cell. Now, that is my favorite match from Chris Jericho. That was awesome to me. And I think Chris Jericho can put on amazing matches like that, like against Wyatt, Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 19, and then around in 2008, 2009 parts. I think Jericho would be great for the Hall of Fame. He will definitely go into the Hall of Fame at some point. And Jericho is one of the best heels, in my opinion, and one of the best talkers. And I guess my favorite time for Jericho was 2005, because I liked the way his attires looked, his matches then. His hair was cool even. Just everything. Jericho was awesome. If you would have asked me in 2005 who was one of my top 10, Jericho would be higher than he is on this one. And that was just because of the time that it was. Now, Jericho's probably on the verge of retiring, but that doesn't mean I'll exclude him ever out of a top 10, because he will always forever be in a top 10 of mine. And that's just the truth when it comes to me. I'm not going to exclude someone. And I just think he's awesome. And he's also had a really good match against this person, Dolph Ziggler. Now, Dolph Ziggler was underused, in my opinion, and treated bad. Dolph Ziggler was a really good wrestler and still is. And my favorite match from him would probably be I think, what would it be? Sorry, gonna have to give me a minute. Probably him versus Triple H, I guess, on Raw. I mean, to me that was really good. And my favorite moment from Dolph Ziggler would probably be when he cashed in the Money in the Bank to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Del Rio. And I just think that was amazing. And Del Rio, he's not in the top 10. I'm not a huge fan of Del Rio at all. Ziggler to me is kind of a Shawn Michaels, and Ziggler is a better worker than he is a talker to me. He's better at wrestling. I think he'd be better off as a heel than he would being a face. But I think Ziggler will still always be a really good wrestler. I'm glad that he's actually getting a chance now for the WWE Championship. I would love to see him versus AJ Styles. If Austin Aries came up from NXT, that'd be awesome. But Ziggler just has that it factor, it seems, and Ziggler is just awesome to me. And just the first match I ever saw from Ziggler was actually when he fought Batista, and I believe that was his debut, and I've been watching him ever since. And Ziggler was just, once I first saw him, I was like, he's probably just going to be a jobber. I really did. But then I started watching more of his matches, and then I thought, he's pretty good. So I liked him ever since then. And then he started winning, like, the United States Championship and stuff. And I saw they were actually doing something with him. And then all that stuff happened. But besides the point. I just really like Ziggler, and that's why he's number 9. That's why he's in the top 10 in this video. That's really all I gotta say about Ziggler. But this next person is gonna shock you. Right there. His name, if you haven't ever seen him, Steve Corino. ECW, ROH. You're probably wondering, Chris, why the hell is Steve Corino top 10? Well, if you have the WWE Network, I want you to go on the WWE Network and go look up ECW. Check like the 2000s, 1999. Watch a Steve Corino match. There's probably some match. I remember watching it. Steve Corino versus Tajiri. And that man worked his ass off. He bled all the way through his entire hair was all bloody, everything. And I think you'll appreciate his work if you actually watch him. And Steve Corino was just awesome to me. Just watching him gave me a lot of respect. He's not very known, surprisingly. He was ECW champ. Steve Corino is just, I never expected to make this video, and he probably wouldn't have been on it if I never watched ECW on the WWE Network. So, gotta give props to WWE Network, $9.99 a month. But anyways, that's gonna end this video today, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and leave a comment below what top 10 you want me to do. Leave a like. See ya.